Hello guys, good morning from the Chaweewan group office. Today I'm just checking our own system and we're going to talk about the Thailand grid in this video. It's a very important topic and first we'll check our own voltage. Let's see if we can see it. So this is three-phase supply, so we have 240, 240, 237. Frequency 4996. So for those that don't know, when you have three-phase, obviously you have three readings for each phase on the voltage. 240 is high, but it's certainly usable. 230 is the standard for the supply in Thailand. It's not 220, 230. So 240 is a bit high, but it's still fine, as long as it's like not much higher than 245. When it gets close to 250, then it's too high. You have to do something. But this is okay. Frequency 50. Frequency is also important. And in this video we'll talk a little bit about what do we do when we have bad grid, because notoriously Thailand is known for bad grid. And Alpha, the manufacturer that we use a lot, they have a rating system of different countries in Asia. And I think Thailand is number 3 after Burma and Philippines. The third worst, not the third best, okay, in terms of grid quality. So why is it like that? Well, historically, the reason is that, especially in the countryside, the transformers were installed a long time ago, most of them, and they were sized after the load at that time, or even maybe not even enough for that time. And then what happens is that once people start to move into a certain area and you get more and more people on the same transformer, the load becomes too high and the voltage drops. So this is one cause of some of these problems. Then when we do service, we check for that problem by doing what we call a load test, where we open a lot in the house to see if the voltage drops. That is a good test for that problem. We often see it drop quite a bit. The question is, when is too much, or when is the drop too much? I would say less than 200 we're starting to see problems. Problems for what? Well, mostly for electrical appliances in the house. When it gets below 190, if we do a measurement on a load test that's below 200, that means that in the night, where most of these problems happen, then you are likely to get 190 and below. So then you're getting into the problematic areas. So it's going to hurt your appliances, it's going to maybe even destroy your appliances. And the more it happens, the more problems you will have with appliances, computers, everything like that. So there are different ways of fixing that. The best is to talk to the PA. MEA has less of these kinds of problems. PA are obviously the ones controlling the supply in the countryside. So outside of Bangkok, you have to talk to the local PA. Most of the time they will say they can't fix it because they don't want to change the transformer. They might give you an offer so that you can buy your own transformer. They will say the problem only happens with you, not with others. They don't have any reports of others complaining, things like that. So then they will try to make money basically and give you an offer for your own transformer. Now in most cases, if you then delay and maybe talk to neighbors, maybe get a list of other people in your area with the same problem, then you have a better argument. And then you might be able to get it for free or at very low cost. So that's solution number 1, get the PA to fix it. Second solution is to have your own transformer. That's certainly cost involved, of course, but that will be a good solution for the future. But then the third solution is to go three-phase. To go three-phase is a good solution if your load is likely to get even more. that maybe you are installing a swimming pool, or at least you are, for the future, not going to use less. You're probably going to use more. The only way then to really fix it is to go three-phase. Three-phase is a supply that's much bigger, because obviously it's divided over 3 phases. But it's not the same. It's not 1 phase times 3. That's important to understand, because these things are made in magnetic fields and the frequencies are angled opposite to each other. So in a very specific system. So it's not like single phase times 3, okay, that's important to understand. But it works in the same way, in that 3 phases will go into the main board. That would be this one, or a similar to this one in your house. Then the normal way to distribute that in Thailand is to have the phases go to different parts of the house. So you would not have 3 phases going to every place in the house. You would have 1 phase, but different phases going to different parts of the house. And by doing that, you will minimize, you will have a more balanced load on all the phases, so you will have a lot more to go on. That's how it works. So a lot of people misunderstand that, and they think that, oh, I don't have 3-phase equipment, so why should I have 3-phase? Well, that's actually not the reason at all. The reason is to distribute the load over all the phases, so the system can handle the load in a much better way. That's the whole point of 3-phase. Now, just to give an example, when we installed our swimming pool, we had single phase. Then we changed to 3-phase just because of this situation, exactly this situation. And then we got a much better supply. We had much better volt, and since then we've had a lot less problems with the electrical. Now, if your load is not that high, but you still have problems, then I would say it's not so good to go for 3-phase. Then it's better to try to find solutions with the PA. You can also install something called a volt protector, so that when the volt goes below a certain level, it just cuts the supply. That's good. That's a good way of protecting your equipment. And if you have a solar system with on-grid, a system without battery, that also works together with the solar system. And I should say also that a solar system, if you have a volt problem, a solar system will not fix that problem. That's important to understand. A solar system will bring the volt up a little bit in daytime. When you're working, if you are working on grid, it will maybe go up 5 volts, something like that. But it will not fix your grid problem. Absolutely not. And with hybrid systems, these volt protection things, they actually don't work that well with hybrid systems. The reason is because the solar system is more sensitive and it's faster in detecting volt problems. So it will actually go into protection mode before the volt protector is able to cut off the main. So that's not a good solution when you have a solar system, a hybrid system. Then you have to look into other... The best solution then is actually to get a hybrid that can handle low volt better, which the new models can, so that's the best there. Volt regulators can sometimes work. The problem is that they have limitations on load. They have, quite a lot of limitations. The best thing when you have a grid problem is to fix it at the root of the cause, which is the supply. All these solutions it's like patching a wound. The wound is still going to be there unless you fix the wound itself. All this patching they can help a little bit, but it's not really permanent good solutions. The reason why I'm making this video in the first place is because grid problems, like I said in the beginning, are so frequent in Thailand. And then as a customer, you should be informed about this. And it's also very important to have a solar supplier that actually understands this. Because if not, you will end up with a lot of problems. Let's say, for example, your solar supplier, installer, doesn't support you properly after. You could be stuck with a system that doesn't work properly because the grid is bad. So we've had a few situations. We've only had one situation where it got critical, where the customer couldn't use. He had a lot of destroyed appliances, washing machine, air conditions, and also the solar system. It got completely destroyed. And we got it on warranty, no problem. But his house was almost not usable with that supply. But that was a specific frequency problem, and also maybe some other problems. That was not only a volt problem, but it does tell you that how important it is to have a good supplier of the solar system. Because if you then have a situation like that, if you have an installer that you can't get to or they will not help you, then your problem is even bigger. And now in most situations, we are able to give a lot of ideas and solutions that most of the time we'll be able to fix it. It can take longer time to get a stable system because we have to work with engineers from the manufacturers to do a lot of fine-tuning to the specific grid. And also another point that's worth mentioning is that regarding brands that are coming in now that are not really adapted to the grid here already, like for example Tesla. Many think Tesla is coming now to Thailand. They already are with the cars, but many think that solar is also coming within the next few years. But the problem there is their equipment really fit for the Thai grid, the bad Thai grid? If it's not, I'm not sure about this. It's just a question I have because I see it on different brands that it's very different how it's able to handle the grid. So that's an important question when Tesla is coming. Is it really that good in Thailand? We have to wait and see. The point I'm mentioning here now is that it has to be fit for the Thai grid to be able to work good here. So it's just a thing to have in the back of your mind. Now, I love Tesla, so I'm not trying to say that Tesla probably won't work. It's just something to keep in the back of your mind when new brands come and promise things. And a lot of brands have problems in Thailand because of the grid, while, for example, Alpha, they actually have special firmware that is made for the bad Thai grid. So that's why the hybrid systems from Alpha, this brand that we have, is actually doing very well compared to other brands with the bad grid. Okay, guys, it's a long video, but I think it's well worth it. It's a very important topic, so there you go. Take it easy, guys.